Hey everyone, I welcome you to my kitchen. So we're going to do a little something today that's inspired by the last video I did. In the last video I looked at Allen's Coffee Brandy mixed with coffee, and I had the shocking result of it tasting halfway decent. So while doing the video, I was inspired to do this video to taste test Allen's Coffee Brandy with different coffees. So, we're going to do a little experiment here. So this video is actually, I normally cut my videos up. I mean, as anyone who watches these can tell, because I do ramble a lot, and I go off tangent, and I also make mistakes. Years in the theater, but, still make mistakes. This is not scripted or anything. And sometimes I'm just trying to make them shorter, too. But today what we're going to do is we're going to do some video, let some coffee brew, do some more video, probably make breakfast for myself, because I haven't done that yet, do some more video, and go back and forth with an array of coffees. But I have one ready to go somewhere around here. Here we are. So first of all, every coffee has this in it. French roast, nothing special. I just like light coffee. I have a weird feeling when it comes to coffee. Like, I don't know if I like coffee. Some coffees I absolutely hate. Like, I'll just throw them out. Throw them up, immediately. They're just bitter. Others are, they actually give me heartburn. Light roast is actually kind of okay, but I like it really light. So this is in everything, and the way I do it is I actually pour it into the coffee pot and then let it brew into this, so I'm not adding it afterwards. I'm going to lift my coffee pot up. Actually, I'll move my phone. Excuse me here. So this is my coffee pot. Very simple, nothing crazy. You see I'm getting myself ready here. And so that's the setup. I have some ready to go. I just brewed this, and what am I doing? Here it is. So, as I said, everything gets French vanilla, and it also gets this. The key ingredient, Allen's Coffee Brandy. Is it good? Is it bad? Shouldn't be drank without something, but which brand is it good for? We'll see. We'll put that right there for now. I have, the first is New England coffee. So this is actually the one I did in my previous video, but I just thought to keep everything real nice, we'd add it in, and this is not really the litmus test, but the base. We'll see if things are better or worse. So here we go. We're going to start off with New England coffee. I have half a cup in here, and plus I've added some brandy. Not a lot of brandy. I'm going to be drunk after this video is over, I'm sure. And we're going to see how this tastes, or remind ourselves how it tastes. So this is the Donut Shop blend. I don't know if it tastes like Donut Shop or not. Which donut are we talking about? I like the old-fashioned ones. You know what? This is pretty good. I think this is pretty good. This is a pretty basic... Yeah, I mean, if this is why people mix Allen's with coffee, then this is good. I could do this all the time. The harsh feeling of Allen's is completely diluted. It's like drinking a chocolate-flavored coffee. That's really the best that I can think of, but it's not too overpowering. I mean, obviously, depending on how much brandy you put in. But yeah, it's really good, actually. I'm almost embarrassed by that. So this is number one. This is number one. So we're going to pause the video. I'm going to get some more coffee here, and then we'll go on to number two. Alright, number two is Dunkin' Donuts. This is the French vanilla. I actually have up in my case some decaf, but I decided to keep everything normal, so this is French vanilla. When I was a boy, my parents, we were pretty poor. I don't know, poor in 1970s, different concept than what poor is today. But we'd often not have any money left over at the end of the month. And, we had a home and a new car every year that was actually falling apart when we bought it. But, I was happy and life was good. And we just didn't do a lot of things that cost money, which in hindsight, I see the logic of that. But one of the things we did do was we would go to Dunkin' Donuts once a month. And I just remember getting a box of donut holes that the three of us would share. And then a little orange juice for me and a little coffee for each of them. And that was like a treat. And so I loved Dunkin' Donuts from day one. It's a very special thing. As I've traveled around the world in the United States, Dunkin' Donuts has always been really special. And I know today they're just Dunkin', and they don't offer the donuts that they were traditionally known for. And I think their breakfast foods are overpriced and too small. But the donuts still are the best. And the coffee, for me, is really one of the best coffees out there. And ironically, I left Maine for 27 years, and last year I actually took a jazz theory class at the Portland Conservatory of Music, and right before class I would always go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I told my mom this, and she goes, "You do realize that's the location we used to go to when you were 5 years old?" And I didn't realize that. I didn't know. I'd always thought it was a different location. But here I am, 27 years later, I moved back, and I'm going to the same Dunkin' Donuts that had created so many fond memories. You don't go that far in life sometimes. And my next coffee this morning is Dunkin' Donuts mixed with Allen's. So I have a cup ready to go. So let's see how this compares. So this is the same cup that I used in the previous one, but I washed it out. Here we are. All right, let's test this out. There is a difference. I want to say it's a little bit darker. I don't know if this is a darker roast. It's a heavier, darker taste. So I don't know. I like the other one better. So you have to excuse me, I just added some more brandy. I was thinking maybe the balance was off, so. Yeah, there's the brandy taste. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's just made this darker. That's all I can say. Is it as good? I don't know. I don't feel myself getting drunk though. That's probably a good thing. I don't know. I'm really mixed on this. So we're gonna keep going. We got more to go. So I don't know. I guess we could say so far this is the dark and this is the light, so you have some variety. Too bad they didn't have a dark or light roast coffee brandy. There we go. That's something you should. Dark coffee, light coffee, French vanilla coffee brandy. There's a whole new world of coffee brandy that you didn't know existed until now and probably don't ever want to try. Alright, let's get going with this experiment. So, during that intermission, I realized that there was water on the floor because I've been moving the, I don't know, what do we call that? Moving this back and forth and washing it and washing my cup, and I just about slipped. Cool. Tragedy. Anyways, it dawned on me I should be doing a video comparing different coffee brandies. I've never done a video comparing any brandies. And then I realized there's probably like so many out there in the world. If I bought all the coffee brandies in town, I probably could barely even touch on what's out there. So here we go. Number 3 is a very special one. So this is a local brand here in Maine. And when I say local, I mean the place that makes it is just a few blocks away. And I think you can buy this outside of Maine. I do know they distribute, but I don't really know. I don't live outside of Maine. So this is Coffee by Design. And this flavor is called Minerva. So Minerva, I'm going to read this to you. It's kind of interesting. So this is Minerva. This is a picture that's actually based on a statue, ironically outside the building that I work in. So it says, Our Lady of Victories. That's who Minerva is. Goddess of commerce, craft, and weaving. I always like how these goddesses, they're very generic on one level, and then they have something very specific to a culture that doesn't exist anymore. Stands tall in Monument Square, which is where I work, as a symbol of unity. This flavor weaves elements from Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Tanzania. This unified light roast honors the commerce and craft of those who made it possible for these coffees to come to Portland, Maine, to be roasted, blended, and served. And it supports Planned Parenthood. And it tastes, according to this, like caramel plus cherry plus tangerine plus winey. And it's not quite a light roast. So the key here is winey. I do agree with this. It has a little bit of a winey flavor. Now I should confess, this blend was one of 4 or 5 blends submitted in a contest. People could taste test them blindfolded, and then they chose the favorite, which was released for 2 months in 2019. So you actually can't get this flavor, but it's the only Coffee by Design I have in stock. And I'm going to make a confession. I have 2 of them. My girlfriend did the roast with this fellow she works with. She designed it. And she won. And I remember I was sitting at the coffee house, Coffee by Design, and she came up to me, she goes, I won, I have to leave now and go to the ceremony, because she didn't plan on being at the ceremony, and I couldn't understand, like, you won? Won what? Won? I had no idea what W-O-N, and so I ended up buying it, and they actually sold out fairly frequently from what I heard, so it was a popular roast. So it does taste winey, which is an odd way of describing coffee, but kind of ironic for what I'm doing today, because what is brandy but essentially like this wine that goes through this process, you know? So I have brewed up my 3rd batch of coffee today. Alright, here we go. I have a cup of Minerva Coffee by Design, made by my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend, and who's brought so many things to my life, but I didn't realize it would be this video, and let's see what this tastes like. And this is, yeah, okay, let's just do this. I'm getting nervous the more I do these videos. Oh, okay. This is my favorite. This one, this is certainly a light roast. So the Dunkin' Donuts one felt like it dominated, and I had to add some more brandy. I'm actually going to add just a little bit more in here, just in case I've not done enough, whatever. And we can see how it affects it. This is really interesting. I'm like so not drunk. But this is only wimpy 30% proof. Yeah, this is really good. I don't know if I'd call it winey. It's not caramel. It's not tangerine. And it's no longer cherry. I don't know what it tastes like now, but it's actually really good. So this one is so far coming out as number 1. So, but we're going to keep going. I have 2 more coffees. We're going to taste test those. So, hang out a bit. Coffee by Design, you guys are doing really well. You are so far my favorite coffee with Brandy. And I will be honest, I'm not going to manipulate and say, oh, it's my girlfriend's coffee. There is a couple flavors by Coffee by Design. And they have lots of different flavors and roasts and things. And they're always coming out with new stuff. And I go down there every weekend. And I spend a couple hours there on a Sunday with my computer, and so I've tasted a lot, and I've been doing this for a few years. There are a few Coffee by Design brands that give me instant heartburn. And it was to the point at one phase I had to stop drinking the coffee and I started drinking tea there and juices because it was just giving me such bad heartburn off of like one sip. So I am not choosing any favoritism here at all. And this is actually really good. I'm surprised I'm not drunk, but I guess I'm just drinking it so slowly and alright, whatever. And doing dishes in between and making breakfast and stuff, I guess, is helpful. So here we go, we're going to keep going. Number 4. So here we are, number 4. I realized that I'm going to drink more coffee today than I normally do. I normally have like 1 cup at work during the day, maybe just a little bit more. I suffer from migraines from, caffeine withdrawal. So I find that like when I was up to 3 or 4 cups a day, I'd hit the weekend and I wouldn't have those 3 or 4 cups or at the same time. And if I didn't have that first cup by 10 o'clock or the second one by noon or whatever, I'd have like a massive migraine that's like helicopters exploding. So I tend to keep my coffee drinking really small because I hate helicopters exploding in my head. This is quite an experiment. This is the most exhaustive video I've ever done. Alright, here we are. Number 4. A coffee you can all get. Maxwell House. Dark roast. Yeah, it goes against the trend, but I've lightened it up, remember, with this stuff. So, anything else here you need to know? I don't think so. Basic. Most of us know this stuff. It's coffee on demand. Basically, a decent coffee. Can't complain too much about it, so. I think I bought it just because it was cheap. Let me pour some brandy into the freshly brewed Maxwell House, and we'll see how this one goes. Alright, there we go. It's totally unorthodox how I'm mixing this. I mix it up. Okay, here we are. Oh, I'm getting full, too. I only have 1 more of these to go. I'm getting full of coffee. I normally only have like 1.5 cups a day at work, and I get a cup when I get in at like 9:30. And I may fill it up later on in the day, maybe at noon at lunchtime, or maybe later in the day. But this is a lot of coffee. Okay. So, I don't know what it means if the coffee and the brandy, or is it if they mix well together, but I guess that's the point of a mixed drink. So, this is good. This is actually beating out the previous one, which was the Coffee by Design. This is now, yeah, this is good. I feel like it's not that dark compared to some dark roasts. I've also lightened it up, so that's not a thing. I feel like the Dunkin' Donuts brand I had earlier was way more dark. And I don't know, I'm in this. Okay, I'm just going to say what I'm thinking, and it's not coming out right as it is, so. Am I not pouring enough brandy in, which is, I think, been the fear I've had, or is this not a strong flavor. So is the coffees I'm drinking just not that strong, so they can't overpower the brandy? It doesn't say a lot for the coffee. So I'm going to do what I've been doing, which is adding some more brandy. Oh boy. And just a little bit. There we go. I haven't actually consumed that much brandy today. I don't feel it anyways. Okay, I taste a stronger chocolatey flavor. Okay, that's really good. Okay, this one is... So the very first... Oh, I'm just tired of drinking coffee. The very first coffee I did was this one. I was really impressed by it. But I think this has gone down. I think Maxwell House is winning out. I really do. Yeah, this is really enjoyable. And anyone can do this. You don't have to be from Maine. You don't have to be anywhere. It's perfect. It's a great mix. Okay. Well, we've got one more and the conclusion here of this strange experiment. So I wanted to just make one more comment about how I'm making this that I realized I hadn't said so far. When I brew coffee, I don't use a lot of coffee. So I was about to brew the last batch, and I just want to demonstrate how little, and you see this, how little I use. Come on, there we are. It's not a lot. Look, I can easily, it's not a lot of coffee. It's just a little bit. So, I didn't think I was really getting drunk, but, while this last one was brewing, I almost ran into the microwave door, because I've been cooking, and I sloshed water all over the kitchen sink, and I realize I'm a little tipsy now and having trouble focusing. Cool. I'm reminded of, I don't know her name, my apologies, she does My Drunk Kitchen, or something like that. This cool lesbian girl, she cooks while getting extremely drunk, and the food is extremely weird, and she's just really cool. Like, you meet this girl, you watch this girl, and you're like, I want to date you, because you just look like the coolest person on earth. My ex-girlfriend, she used to say to me, if I was a lesbian, that's the girl I want to date. And she had cool hair, too, so I kind of feel like that. So this is, like, not my drunk coffee drinking. I don't think it's quite as awesome or interesting or whatever. Anyways, the last one. But not. Jesus, I wanted to then raise this up and go, hey, this is the coffee that we're drinking. But this isn't the coffee that we're drinking. This is the brandy that we're drinking. This is the coffee we're drinking. Folgers Classic Roast. And it's so classic it has... No, actually, that's... This bottle, whatever we call this, is so old that it has an Olympic sponsor on it. I bought it so long ago. I was in a local restaurant called Silly's, which was really popular here in town. And this was my ex-girlfriend, and I was drinking this coffee, and I literally was overwhelmed by how awesome this coffee was. Like, this is really good coffee. And I kept sitting there, like, you gotta taste this. And she's like, yeah, that's really good. So, this is so stupid. I asked the waitress, she came up at one point, I said, I have a question for you. Can you tell me what coffee this is? And she just looked at me, she goes, what? And I said, what coffee am I drinking? This is like the greatest coffee. Like, what is this? And she went in the kitchen, and she came back a few minutes later, and she goes, it's Folgers. It comes in the red bin. I guess what I went and bought. That was like 3 years ago, probably. This coffee is old. It really is old. It still smells good. It still smells really good. So, Yeah, classic roast. I don't medium blend. Um, yeah, so this is highly recommended. Folgers by restaurants that were around for 30-something years and closed last year. So that's the endorsement. Okay, anyways, here we go. This is the last one. Let's see where Folgers rates. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I don't think so. No. Um, um, no, I'm not happy with this. It's feeling like the Dunkin' Donuts brand. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. This makes me... it's verging on bitter. It's verging on bitter. Maybe the coffee's just old. I know coffee get old. Maybe I haven't put enough brandy in. We'll give this a try. Mix it up. Yeah, I'm just... Okay, well that helped a little bit. Maybe I didn't have enough. Okay, well, maybe Folgers is not my favorite anymore. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, this isn't doing it for me. Oh, it's just bitter. Yeah, I don't really even want to drink the rest of this. I mean, I've had so much coffee this morning anyways. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I'm ready to make a ruling. I'm ready to make a ruling on the best and the worst. So here we go. Number one, Maxwell House. This one was really, really good. Now, of course, all these answers are depending on how much brandy you throw in, and you know, a little bit or a lot, whatever. And that has been the one thing in the scientific experiment that has been completely not scientific. It has been completely spontaneous how much brandy is thrown into this. I just pour it and I know, okay, that's about the same as whatever. So Maxwell House, number one, good stuff, highly recommended. Coffee by Design comes in, I think, number two. I'm really happy with this one. Nice winey taste. Now, obviously, this is Minerva, so will another Coffee by Design have the same flavor? I don't know, but giving it to the local company. Number three, New England Coffee. Now, if you don't live in New England, can you get this coffee? I have no idea, but likely, because New England's marketed all around. And, no, that does not look like any New England that I've ever seen, particularly with the horse-drawn carriage. Oh, well. And number four... Hang on a second. This is a tough one. Which is the worst? Okay, number four is Dunkin' Donuts. A French vanilla blend. And then number five, I am sad to say, is Folgers. It's not doing it for me. And I'm just feeling unenthused after such a good experiment, having ended on this one. Oh, yeah. So, okay, so that's it. If you are doing Maxwell House, and you have Allen's Coffee Brandy, this is a good combination. I would be up for suggestions if people have watched this video and suffered through it and want more experiments. I'd be willing to do it within some reason. Obviously, you see I have 5 different coffee blends, and I have another bag up here and another bag up here because I don't really drink coffee that much, so there's limits to what I'm willing to buy because otherwise I'll run out of cupboard space and I'll never drink it. I would be willing to do this again with another coffee flavored. Mr. Boston does a coffee flavor, but that was just a really good coffee. The whole point of this was to find out if Allen's was edible, drinkable, whatever. Because I didn't think it was on its own. And we're going to do one more taste. Oh, yeah, no, that ain't happening. Okay, let's do it. One for the road. Thank you for watching this video. So here, this has been a very strange experience. And messy, too. I got a little bit of cleanup I have to do. And start my day and do something with it and go out shopping. And I was kind of hoping I'd be really drunk, but really I was full of coffee. And anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to see other videos along these lines where I'm testing a bunch of things, make suggestions. I would be more than happy to do it. I'm more than happy to get drunk on camera. I'm not that drunk, but I feel good. It's been a good morning. I'm glad I did this, and yeah. Make suggestions, please. We're just gonna go for something right now. I need a mug. Yeah, okay. Carpe diem, seize the day. Got this mug in high school. We're just gonna drink some coffee brandy, straight off. So I can, I guess, it's the wrong cap, shit. I can see what this stuff tastes like without any of these flavorings. And here we go. Oh, yep, this needs coffee to be consumed. Oh, God. Oh, that's the worst brandy. Oh. Oh, that so needs. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Don't ever consume coffee brandy by Allen's without coffee. That's the lesson you're to take away from today's video. This requires anything, something, whatever. Oh, yeah, that's not good stuff.